Yeah. So again, welcome everyone. Very welcome. And it's the changed timing today that we are having. We are just experimenting with the new timing at 7 p.m. every Friday. So I would request Chitraji if you would like to start sharing anything that you have read, which you would like to share. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time we shared about that austerities, four austerities actually. Yeah. That only I'm bringing that about the food actually. Mother said about the food. I mean, in matters, it is from MP Pandit's book, Dynamics of Yoga. In matters of food, the mother always deplored the inordinate time and energy spent by people in the planning, cooking, and eating of food. She always wondered how people could spend so much of time over it. She advised that if a person had the time to spend, he should study the precise needs of his body and gain knowledge of the constituents of the various items of food so as to give the body the right food. So this thing made me think about a lot actually. She's telling no that energy spent by people in the planning, cooking, and eating of food. It is a normal. I mean, we thought it is a very normal thing, but actually, yeah. She always wondered how people could spend so much of time over it. Yeah. So this thing and another small story he wrote actually. I
I
will
think
share
that,
afterwards. Yeah, we
that-
will talk about this first and then I will share
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I feel is that also the fact that we as individuals we recognize ourselves or identify ourselves so strongly with the body, that I am the body and there is nothing much to me than the body or the mind or the feelings. I think that could be one of the reasons why we just spend so much of energies in roti kapda and makan, the daily basic needs of life. And I think it would be really, those of us are really lucky if we have gotten a chance to look forward or take care of the needs of the soul also, and rather than just focusing on the body all the time, the money mostly, all the properties and all the the things that we keep on collecting, that it'll be maybe useful for my later time. And always at the premise, if we see that we look at ourselves mostly as the body, and that is a recognition. And that is why whenever we have a disease, it's almost like a, as if something really big has happened. Why? Because I've always known myself as the body. So now if something happens to the body, I will be really shattered, that, oh my god, how can this happen? So yeah. And others, whenever you, as I've shared in the chat window, whenever you feel like sharing, just unmute and share. Yeah. Yeah, Chitraji, you want to share the next thing that you had? You are muted, Chitraji.
Sorry. Yeah, he explained about an incident actually happened. Through that, I mean, yeah, we will discuss. I will read the story first. Actually, it's not a story; it is a true happen. Actually, he wrote. It was he wrote that time. It was must be around I don't know the year. 10 years ago, he wrote, we received a letter from the States that a certain lady, a wealthy woman, wanted to visit the ashram and stay for a month. When mother was there physically, everything was arranged for the visitors. And since Regis guest house did not exist at that time, that he mentioned about some guest house actually. So she was put up in some other guest house. they landed at Calcutta first, and while driving through the city, the lady saw the usual line of beggars. She remarked sarcastically that that was hardly the thing she had come to see. What kind of spirituality could there be in a country that tolerated such things? So she wanted to go back immediately, but was prevailed upon by her guide, who told her that Calcutta was a famine area and she would see better things in Pondicherry. So they came to Pondicherry, where she found that they were lodged in a guest house where there was no air conditioning. Again, the same body thing came actually. No foam mattresses and the food. She decided to go away immediately, but was coaxed to remain till the next day. She refused to come to the ashram, but somehow the escorting friend prevailed upon her to stay till 12 o'clock so that she could visit Sri Aurobindo's room and go to the Samadhi. They came to the ashram in a car. She wouldn't get down but remained in the car grumpily. The escort came inside and met me and visited Sri Aurobindo's room. The MP Pentit is telling. Meanwhile, my colleague Udar Pinto, and Sadak was there, no, that time, yeah, happened to come to the ashram. He had heard of the lady, and when he saw her sitting there, he was reminded of the saying, "It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God." It is I think it's from Bible, no? He was half inclined to go near the car and say this to her, but felt that the mother might take him to task for interfering, so he controlled himself and went away. When he met the mother later, he mentioned his impulse to talk to the lady and added that certain words had come into his mind. To his surprise, the mother was displeased with him, saying that she had put those words in his head, and if he had spoken them, the life of that woman might have changed. This is what.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wow.
Mhm.
This reminds me, mother used to say that when Champak Lalji, he was very close association with the mother, so he used to take care of mother and all that. And once I remember that I had read in Champak Lal's Treasures that he wanted to arrange the flowers in some way. He wanted to get a vase and fresh
Yeah.
flowers. And for many days, he kept on thinking about it, whether I should do it or not do it, or do it or not do it. And then finally, one day, he did that. And then mother saw it, and mother said, beautiful. And then he said, I had, spread these thoughts in the environment, and I was waiting who would catch it first.
Yeah.
Interesting, it's really amazing how we get on, keep on getting these subtle that, we know somewhere that what is right, what should be done,
Yeah.
but in the fear of the society or what will people think about me, all that, we suppress that
Yeah.
little, little voice that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, today only I read this in the morning, so I thought of sharing. But actually, both are connected only. Now only I'm realizing about food and I'm
Yeah.
reading.
Yeah. But the other thing is also that, we are so used to getting people's approval,
Yeah.
and that people must not reject us, they must not neglect us. They will be always, they should be always, like smiling and, kind of open to us. That whenever we want to say truth to somebody,
Mm.
it is always pinching in nature, truth pins.
Yeah.
So we fear that what if I lose this friend if I say the truth out loud?
Correct.
No?
Yeah.
What if I maybe he stops talking to me, or anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
So, in order for that approval to be, we
Yeah.
dare to speak that truth which can help us also and the other person.
Yeah.
And this is
And
a,
also,
yeah,
yeah, and also Udar, he is very close with mother, but he had the intention, but he also couldn't find out that, I mean, whether it is correct or not.
yeah,
I felt for us it is very difficult.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But again, as we say, baby steps,
Yeah, correct.
100
Yeah, we
times in
should
one
not,
time we
yeah,
can, yeah,
always we should not say some lame excuses. Yes,
yeah,
correct. Yeah, correct.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Hmm.
So anyone else, Uday ji or Nandini, Jyotsna ji, anyone who is ready to share anything, just unmute and share.
I'm a silent listener today.
Okay, Jyotsna ji. Yeah. Yes,
So,
Nandini.
Monica, is there a common book that everybody is reading, or we are reading different books
Yeah,
of?
yeah.
Okay, all
There is
right.
no common book. Sometimes when we have the reference, we share it in the chat window. Uh, that it's from collected works of mother or maybe a book
Hmm.
that we are reading.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, okay. So I just wanted to know that. Yeah.
ठीक है, ठीक है.
All right.
So there is this, little book that we have. I have this book. It's a small compilation. It's called The Sunlit Path. I hope you can see this. And it's available on Sabda also for those of us who want this. And although all the works of Mother and Sri Aurobindo are nowadays online, so if you go to this Incarnate Word, the website, all the volumes of collected works are available, right? So you type in any search word and you get to the, whatever the passages that are there. But I feel that this is also very nice. It's a very pocket size handy book, and it has really something of a practical reference for each one of us. So let me just maybe quickly share something from here. Huh?
My favorite book. This is the first book that was given to me 33 years ago, and
Wow,
which took me on mother's path. And
beautiful.
then I never looked back and never looked at anybody else. Sunlit Path is a fantastic compilation of their work till date. It
Yeah,
holds true.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
By the way, it's available on Amazon also.
Acha, that's so nice. Yeah.
I sent it to a friend yesterday
Okay.
in Chennai. It's available on Amazon. It is delivered. Yeah,
Okay.
in a
Okay.
day. In a day from the ashram from Sabda itself, they are linked to Amazon now.
Acha, acha. Beautiful. Good.
So it's easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. So I'll share something from this only. Um, in Sunlit Path, there is this a little passage where Mother talks about a decisive turning point. And Mother says that at the moment we are at a decisive turning point in the history of the earth. Now, this has been talked of years ago, and I feel that we are still there. At the moment, we are at a decisive turning point in the history of the earth. Once again, from every side, I am asked, what is going to happen? Everywhere there is anguish, expectation, fear. What is going to happen? There is only one reply. If only man could consent to be spiritualized. This is very, very urgent need that we really begin to live a life knowing who we truly are. Not knowing ourselves just as the body, just as the thought, just as the feeling, but something far more than that. And then Mother continues, perhaps it would be enough if some individuals became pure gold. I've loved these lines, of the Mother, and we have also put these on our website. We have these lines, that if some individuals became pure gold, and the journey that we are all on, all our spiritual path, looking at our difficulties with very, very much of intimacy, closeness, ready to explore our weaknesses, our shadows. This is the way, this is the way. For this would be enough, Mother says, this would be enough to change the course of events. Then we don't have to follow that blind, slippery slope of, collective consciousness. We are faced with this necessity in a very urgent way. This courage, this heroism of which the divine wants of us, why not use it to fight against one's own difficulties? The challenges that we face in our life, all the ugliness that we see inside us, let us put the light of consciousness on all that ugliness, because all the ugliness has just been waiting for that light to be there. But can we just be there, hold its hand, fight against one's own difficulties, one's own imperfections, one's own obscurities? Why not heroically face the furnace of inner purification, so that it does not become necessary to pass once more through one of those terrible, gigantic destructions which plunge an entire civilization into darkness? In Savitri also, we were reading the other day, those lines that if this conscious collaboration does not happen, the frustrate universe will have to sink down, it will be dissolved, because this life is supposed to be a divine life, has been supposed to be a divine life, but it seems that it had been overtaken by falsehood, which is the falsehood of ego. We The thought is serving the ego, the feelings are serving the ego, the body is serving the demands of the ego. And no wonder that we are faced with so many even physical challenges, like increasing cancers and all that. And having gone through cancer myself, I know that I for me it really feels that it was a wake up call and nothing else. The God is not so cruel that it would want us to suffer, but it wants to let us know that this is not the work you are here for. You're not here to live for the ego, you are here to live for your own inner truth, and we have nothing to lose in that. Starting May, when we begin on this path, it feels that I will have to lose many things, the older lifestyle of living, maybe the relationships, but I feel it's not like that. We only gain. We lose only the trivia, which really is more like complexities. We get rid of the complexities, and we have more simplicity and beauty in life, if we are ready to walk on this path. And the last line mother says that this is the problem for each one of us, and it is for each one to solve it in his own way. And that is our unique unfoldment of life, that how, yes, spiritual path has to be undertaken, but what is the path for me? Now, Mother and Sri Aurobindo may not be the path for everyone, and that's completely fine. There are so many teachers, there's so many masters, but at least this journey can begin, consciously. So yeah, I feel very inspired, whenever I go through these lines, that this is the best social service that one can do, to keep working on ourselves no matter how many difficulties are there. Because even otherwise life is difficult, life is not easy peasy for anyone. So maybe choose our difficulties, choose our right battles. Yeah. And also this idea of sacrificial fire, mother says that let us go through this inner furnace, there I feel that as fire has, fire is known for its purifying properties, and whatever needs to be burned will be burned, and whatever is false will be burned, and we must be ready to let it go, let the false go, and whatever remains would be the truth, you know that would not be burnt by the fire. So that is the beauty, that our truth, our inner truth, each one unique personality, will not be burnt by that fire. The only thing that would be burnt would be all that we have put on ourselves as masks, and the outer personalities which are not really serving us well. So in the beginning it appears like as if it's a skin that we have to let go of, and it is very difficult because we have known ourselves like that person for a long long time. So in the beginning it hurts a lot. One has to go through a lot of difficult time, also sadness, also one has to leave old personalities behind. But then what shines after going through this inner purification is something which is really worth going through all that process.
And also another thing, actually, um, after facing all the challenges in the life, I mean, myself and my co-sister, she's also in the path. We used to realize and feel like that actually. That's why mother came even before we know about all these things. Yeah, that is our experience, really, really. Every time I face the I mean, everyone will face this difficulties, but the peculiar challenges whenever I face, I used to think like that only. That's why she came even before this. That's why I can bear this. Yeah, that is true. Unique. This is unique. Or all masters are there actually. Yeah, really. But I don't know. That feeling used to come. And another thing also, we Tamilians know we won't travel much like you and all as North Indians. So we used to thank Mother and Shirvindo. They came to Tamil Nadu.
That's so nice.
Pondicherry.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Never thought of like that. Yes, very interesting.
Because we people are no, we are not very much, I mean, adventurous type. We'll be. So they thought we used to talk like that, myself and my co-sister. That's why Mother and Shir in the forest, they came to Pondicherry.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, and, for my mother's part, everyone has that special feeling, no, towards, I mean, divinity. Yeah.
मोनिका जी, क्या मैं कुछ पढ़ के बोल सकता हूँ?
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल रवि जी, बिल्कुल बताइए।
पहला तो ये है कि मैं प्योर हिंदी में बोलूंगा, जो समझ सके ठीक है, बाकी नहीं तो आप ट्रांसलेट करके बता दीजिएगा।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, हाँ बिल्कुल।
अच्छा, एक ना पुस्तक है मैं उसका जिक्र करूंगा। एक पुस्तक है यौगिक साधन। वो श्री अरविंद की सबसे पहली पुस्तक कही जाती है और वो उन्होंने प्लेनचेट से लिखी थी। और उस पुस्तक का अनुवाद डॉक्टर सुरेश चंद्र त्यागी, जो श्री अरविंद सोसाइटी के से जुड़े हुए हैं, जो सहारनपुर में रहते हैं, उन्होंने उसका हिंदी में एक ही किताब में हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों का ट्रांसलेट करके बुक पब्लिश करी थी, जो कि अब उनके पास नहीं है। मैंने अथक प्रयास के बाद जोशीमठ में मेरे मित्र डॉक्टर चरण सिंह केदार खंडी हैं, जिन्होंने श्री अरविंदो पे पीएचडी कर रखी है, उनसे मैंने मंगाई है। और आज मैं नोएडा हूँ, घर से बाहर हूँ, और वो मेरे पास आ गई है। मैं फोटो कॉपी करा के उसकी रख रहा हूँ। तो मैं उसको पढ़ के झूम के नाचने लगा हूँ। और इतनी जबरदस्त किताब श्री अरविंद ने लिखी है। उसकी हमारे एक मित्र हैं श्री विनोद मारतोडिया जी, जो कि जेडी ऑन सोन बिहार में रहते हैं। वो रोज एक कड़ी जो है वो टाइप करके उसकी भेजते हैं, और आज उसकी लास्ट से पहली वाली कड़ी आई है, वो मैं पढ़ के सुना रहा हूँ। कल अंतिम कड़ी आएगी, और गजब की, मतलब मेरे को इतनी अच्छी लगी जो विचार श्री अरविंद के उसमें हैं। तो इसमें वो लिखते हैं, लेकिन वह उदाहरण के लिए जिस कर्म को प्रस्तुत करते हैं वह महान देवताओं का कर्म है। जैसे कि गेटे महान प्राकृतिक शक्तियों के बारे में कहता है, निष्काम, अथक, आनंद में आत्म संतुलित, सात्विक अहंकार, कर्म में भी सीमित ना होने वाले पुरुषोत्तम के साथ एकाकार भगवान की सत्ता में मेरी सत्ता, मेरी शक्ति केवल भगवान की असीम शक्ति, काली का विशेष कर्म है। मैं ज्ञानी नहीं हूं, मैं बद्ध नहीं हूं, मैं दुखमय नहीं हूं, मैं केवल अज्ञानी होने का अभिनय करता हूं। ये बात मोनिका जी हम सब पे लागू होती है। मैं केवल अज्ञानी होने का अभिनय करता हूं, बद्ध होने का स्वांग करता हूं। एक अभिनेता या श्रोता की तरह मैं दुख का रस लेता हूं। मैं जब चाहूं उसे उतार कर फेंक सकता हूं। कौन मुझे भ्रष्ट और पापी कहता है? धरती पर दूसरे कीड़ों के बीच बुलबुलाता हुआ एक कीड़ा, इस पे प्रश्नवाचक चिन्ह लगा हुआ है। मैं ब्रह्म हूं, मैं भगवान हूं, पाप मुझे स्पर्श नहीं कर सकता। कौन मुझे दुर्बल कहता है? इस पे फिर प्रश्नवाचक चिन्ह लिखा है। मैं सर्वशक्ति के साथ, मैं सर्वशक्तिमान के साथ एक हूं। भगवान ने एक होने पर मुझे बहु होने के लिए चुना है। वह अनंत होने के कारण स्वयं को अनेक केंद्रों पर सीमित कर लेता है और प्रत्येक केंद्र में अनंत ही बना रहता है। यह है अस्तित्व का रहस्य, उत्तम रहस्य, भगवान का महान, अद्भुत और आनंदमय रहस्य। एक ऐसा रहस्य जिससे तर्क अस्वीकार करता है, लेकिन ज्ञान पूर्ण रूपेण समझ लेता है। ज्ञान जिस चीज पर तर्क वितर्क नहीं किया जा सकता, लेकिन जिसे अनुभव किया जाता है, जो विशुद्ध, मुक्त, पूर्ण, आनंददायक, सर्वांगपूर्ण और आत्मा के द्वारा अनुभव से सिद्ध किया जाता है। आगे अंतिम कड़ी 35 कल आएगी। तो मैं इसमें सिर्फ ये कहना चाहता हूँ, इतना सुंदर है, इसको अंग्रेजी भी आप कहेंगी तो मैं, जब किताब मेरे पास आ गई है तो मैं एक आध दिन में इसकी फोटोकॉपी करके मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप में शेयर कर सकता हूँ या लिख कर भी भेज सकता हूँ। मेरे को लिखने का भी शौक है, चाहे कितना ही लंबा या छोटा हो। तो मोनिका जी, सबसे बड़ी चीज है जो इतना आनंद आया इसको पढ़ने में, सुबह से 4-5 बार पढ़ चुका हूँ। हम लोग एक ड्रामा कर रहे हैं एक्चुअली। एक वो आपने कहावत सुनी होगी, हमने पेड़ को पकड़ रखा है और हम कहते हैं पेड़ हमें छोड़ नहीं रहा है। एक्चुअली मेरी आवाज आ रही है ना?
जी बिल्कुल आ रही है रवि जी, बताइए।
तो हमें इस चीज पे ध्यान देना चाहिए और इस चीज को समझना चाहिए कि अक्सर आपने लोगों को देखा होगा, भाई साहब क्या करूं, मेरे बेटा है, बेटी है, बहू है, बच्चा है, अब पोता बड़ा हो गया, उसको पालना है, मैं छुट्टी नहीं कर पाता हूँ, मैं श्री अरविंद की बुक्स नहीं पढ़ पाता हूँ, या मैं इस पथ पे आगे नहीं बढ़ पाता हूँ। तो इस चीज को बहुत हम लोगों को डीपली स्टडी करनी चाहिए और समझना चाहिए। कहीं कोई बंधा हुआ नहीं है, हम स्वयं अपने बंधनों में खुद को हमने बांध रखा है।
बहुत
मतलब
सुंदर।
देखिए, गेटे जैसा व्यक्ति क्या लिखता है, मैं एक बार फिर पढ़ के सुनाता हूँ कि वो कहता है कि मैं निष्काम, अथक आनंद में आत्म संतुलित, सात्विक अहंकार कर्म में भी सीमित न होने वाले पुरुषोत्तम के साथ एकाकार भगवान की सत्ता में मेरी सत्ता, मेरी शक्ति केवल भगवान की असीम शक्ति, काली का विशेष कर्म है। मैं ज्ञानी नहीं हूं, मैं बद्ध नहीं हूं, मैं दुख में नहीं हूं, मैं केवल अज्ञानी होने का ड्रामा कर रहा हूं। तो ये कितनी मतलब एक मतलब क्या चीज है, बस इसका कोई इस एक्सप्लेनेशन आप ही कर पाएंगी। मतलब गजब, इसके बाद क्या शब्द होंगे, मेरे तो समझ के बाहर की बात है। और जितनी जल्दी हम इन चीजों से उभर के ऊपर आ जाएं और इन चीजों को अपने अंदर ले लें और इनको समाहित कर लें, या हम डाइजेस्ट कर लें या डीपली उतार लें, तो हमारा जीवन आनंदमय और जो कि ऑलरेडी है। अब इसको आप आसान शब्दों में कह सकते हैं कि शीशे के ऊपर धूल के कण हैं, उनको हमने कपड़ा लेके साफ करना है, एंड दैट्स ऑल, चैप्टर क्लोज। तो इतना सब कुछ हम करते हैं। अगर हम उस मतलब बहुत ही सिंसियरिटी के साथ इस चीज को समझने की जरूरत है। वो मैं आज हम ये बात इसलिए इस ग्रुप में कर रहे हैं कि हम लोगों पे कितनी कृपा है। अभी मैं एक टॉक सुन रहा था कि हम कहते हैं माता जी की कृपा हो जाए हमारे पर, माता जी की ये हो जाए, माता जी का वो। अरे भाई, आप मोनिका जी के साथ सुन करके, माँ श्री अरविंद के साथ जुड़ करके आज आप इस स्थान पर है कि माँ श्री अरविंद से जुड़ गई हैं। इससे बड़ी और कृपा दुनिया जिंदगी में, इससे बड़ी कृपा और क्या हो सकती है, मुझे बताइए। हमने अपना पूरा जीवन बर्बाद होने वाले कामों में और निम्न प्रकृति में लगा दिया, और चाहे 10 साल से या 15 साल से, अब इसमें कोई एक सिस्टर बोल रही थी अभी 30 साल पहले उनको बुक मिली थी, अगर वो जुड़ गए हैं तो हम और किस कृपा की बात कर रहे हैं। कृपा तो बरसना ऑलरेडी हमारे पर बरस रही है। ये मेरा कहने का मतलब है।
ब्यूटीफुल, या थैंक यू सो मच रवि जी, ब्यूटीफुल, वेरी पावरफुल शेयरिंग। थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच। और ये जो आपने बात कही, यू नो दैट हम अज्ञानी हैं नहीं, हम अज्ञानी होने का ढोंग कर रहे हैं, और जो ये हाँ ड्रामा कर रहे हैं, सो ये बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा, हम सब पे लागू होता है। और तभी बात होती है कि जब भी हम अपनी जिंदगी में ये पहचान पाए कि ओके, नाउ आई हैव सफर्ड एनफ and now I want to take the responsibility of my life in my hands, तो तब हम अपनी नींद से, ड्रामे से निकल सकते हैं। then I can get out of my drama. so you are so right। and आपने जो उल्लेख किया जो लाइनों का, पंक्तियों का, कि एक ढोंग चल रहा है, एक ड्रामा चल रहा है, और जब भी whenever I want to get out of that drama and know myself as the something beyond the drama, you know, that can be done anytime।
Very true. Very true.
That's really beautiful. And it's also very empowering. Why? Because we know that it's in our own hands, you know. It's no one else from our family or relatives is imposing this drama upon us. I am the one who is the character of the drama. तो
Very true.
है कि वो power बिल्कुल back में आ जाती है. I have the power to take care of my own peace and happiness right now if I am out of the drama. So this is very, very empowering. And if anyone has anything to share, please mute and share. So, Taru, would you like to share anything that you have read?
Yeah, hi. No, don't have anything to share today. Thank you so much.
Chitra ji, would you like to share now or anything that you have, or shall I share?
No, you share, Monica. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, I'll just pick up a passage from this book only, The Sunlit Path. And yeah. So Mother talks about giving up desire. Now, giving up desire is feels very hard for an ordinary consciousness when we are there. It feels very hard, and it feels that what will I do if I give up my desires? You know, what will I run after? Because we are so used to running after things that we don't know any way how to live life if not for desires. You know, first I have a desire to get married, then desire to have kids, the desire to have my kids having kids, you know, all these things. And then we just keep on running after one desire and another. Now the beautiful thing which I observe is that whenever a desire is there and a moment of fulfillment of desire is there, so I may be craving for a chocolate and suddenly I get a chocolate in my hands. Okay, so in that few moments when I get the chocolate in hand, there is a beautiful feeling that I have, a feeling of contentment, a feeling of joy. Now that I don't need anything more in at least few of those moments. This feeling of joy, it appears that it has been given by the chocolate. For example, I may be craving to meet a person. Okay. So the moment I meet a person, for initial few moments, I will feel very satisfied and contented because this was my seeking and the seeking has been fulfilled. And I would again not even investigate that does this happiness and joy really is given by the other person or there is some other thing going on. Now this is really beautiful because you know, the in the moment of the fulfillment of desire, if we really go close to the situation, we will see that there is no desire anymore in that few moments. You know, in those few moments the seeking is not there, and what really is giving joy and happiness is absence of the seeking in that moment. Now this absence of seeking can be anytime. I can be in that state anytime. It does not have to depend on first having a desire and then fulfillment of a desire. It's almost like the metaphor that we use, you know, that it's like imagine that there is blue sky and the blue sky is crowded with dark clouds. Now the dark clouds are the clouds of seeking, having a desire. And what is the desire telling me? It is telling me if it gets fulfilled, then you will be happy. So this is the dark cloud on the screen. Now the moment the fulfillment happens, as if the dark cloud dissipates and the blue sky opens up, which is the blue sky of joy and happiness and contentment. Now, if we really go close, we will see that the blue sky was forever present. It was never away. Just like sky is present beneath, behind the clouds. But owing to the fact that the mind was so much into seeking, desire, seeking, अगर ये नहीं मिला तो खुश नहीं होंगे, वो नहीं मिला तो खुश नहीं होंगे, that in the presence of the dark clouds of seeking and desire, the contentment, the joy and happiness of my true nature was eclipsed by the clouds. And if we understand this, we will not be dependent on any person or situation to give us happiness and peace. So this has really opened something new, for me also. And only now is a life possible which is rid of desires, where I am not seeking that if desire is fulfilled, only then I will be happy and peaceful. Only now I can embark upon this journey. So Mother says that when this inner joy of overcoming a desire happens, there is a kind of inner communion with the psychic being. And the psychic being is this being which is full of joy and happiness and contentment. There is a kind of inner communion with the psychic being which takes place when one willingly gives up a desire. The moment I am giving up a desire, as if I am putting away that dark cloud from the screen. So the shining of the true beings, it's adequate, it's there, right there. So this takes place when one willingly gives up a desire, not by force or control, because that will not happen like that. Willingly, that knowing that it is not right for me, it is not leading me anywhere. And because of this willing getting rid of desire, one feels a much greater joy than if he had satisfied the desire. Now, why a greater joy? Why a greater joy? Because when satisfaction happens through a desire being fulfilled, it is very momentarily. Very soon another desire will come and it will mask the whole screen of blue sky. But when I am willingly giving up seeking, in understanding that this is not helping me, then in absence of the dark clouds, I am that vast blue sky of joy and happiness. So it's in my control now, as if I am the master of my being. So again, as Raviji was sharing, some empowering. So I also feel that this is so empowering in nature. And Mother talks about self-mastery. Mother talks about mastering oneself. Now, I don't see any other way that the mastery can happen per force or by control, if not for this understanding that the desire is not getting me anywhere. So this has been for me personally, has been really very revelatory, in nature, that yes, I can exist without desires.
Yeah, when you are explaining also, I feel that actually, if the desire is, it is going away, and that real joy and truth is inside already. That is showing, after you remove all the desires. Yeah, it is there inside, but we are thinking because we get that thing, or we meet that person, or that joy is, but it is actually inside. Yeah,
Exactly. And in the presence of a seeking, that if I get that, only then happiness will be there. We totally mask this inner joy and happiness. And I was talking to a person today, lives in my apartments only, that, if I have lost 5 lakhs somewhere, my only focus will be why on earth did I lost that money, and how come I have lost it, and all the, guilt and shame and whatever associated with it. I will not be looking at the one that is left. The 5 lakhs I have left, I will actually not be paying any attention to it. I will just hankering after those 5 lakhs that I have lost. And in that, I will keep on perpetuating misery. So somehow our usual ordinary consciousness focuses only on what I have lost, maybe. No, not what I have. You know,
Yeah.
if I gave a challan today of 1,000 rupees. So the person sitting next to me was feeling very bad about it. That, oh my God, it maybe happened because of me. I should not have done that or whatever. And I said, it's only 1,000 rupees. I am still alive. You are still alive. We can earn that money again. And somehow our focus does not go here. Our focus only goes to what has been lost. Yeah. So that was very funny. Yeah.
Correct. In Savitri also, later also, these lines are coming. Ashwapati, after traveling all the worlds, in book 2, it is coming, no? And then that he's going to meet Divine Mother. Before that, just before that, that line is there. He tore the desire up from its roots. Some line will come like that, from bleeding roots, something. So till that time, the desire is troubling him actually. Till that time, till he met Divine Mother face to face.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is there in the House of Spirit and New Creation.
Okay.
Yeah, when you are telling that, those lines are coming to me.
Mm,
He tore the desire up from the bleeding roots. Yeah.
mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, Nikhilji,
It
you
is
have
not.
written something. Sorry, Chitraji, please continue.
Yeah, it is not easy as you said. Yeah,
Yeah.
because yeah,
I think that is why the blows and slaps from life,
yeah,
that is why they are
correct.
so helpful,
Yeah,
because then I'm utterly
blows
convinced.
also. Why these blows are coming
Exactly.
again? We
Exactly.
yeah, we as if we won't realize that also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Nikhilji, I wanted to ask you if you would like to unmute and share. You said it's human. So what are you referring to? Probably that is human. आप unmute भी कर सकते हैं if you want to unmute and share. Okay. If you are able to unmute and share, Nikhilji, at any time, just share. I think you are referring to, yeah, please.
I could actually. I'm new to this application, hence this difficulty.
अच्छा अच्छा.
Yeah. Sorry. So basically, मेरा यही कहना था कि that as you said, the 1,000 rupee loss as a fine and punishment hurts a little more than probably 10,000 earned in the lottery.
Yeah.
So
That's
this
true.
is human. Basically, I mean, what you said rightly, the dark cloud. I was just thinking, like COVID vaccine.
Mm.
Like we are looking in for getting ourselves vaccinated, so that then probably we'll see the blue sky.
Yeah.
Irrespective of that, in the last 1 year, even without vaccine, we have been seeing the blue sky,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we don't see that, and we are in that illusion of that dark cloud itself, waiting for that blue sky to come. That once we get a vaccine, we'll be able to see the blue sky.
Beautiful.
So this is what probably I just thought about this.
बहुत सुंदर. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Thank you.
जो रवि जी अभी बता रहे थे, so I'll just a few lines just propped up again. That in the middle of the chaos, there is something in us which is untouched by the chaos. And when mother talks about suffering and pain, mother says that whenever you are suffering, use the signal of suffering and go to the depths of suffering, and there you find this light. If in yourself, in the middle of suffering, mother is not saying run away from suffering or try to shoo away the suffering, nothing like that. In the middle of the suffering, you will find that there is something in you which is untouched by the suffering. Now this is the paradox of divinity. In the middle of time, you find timelessness. In the middle of space, you find spacelessness. In the middle of dirt, you have a lotus. So this is the paradox of truth. Whenever we say that wherever truth is, there would be a paradox. And why a paradox? Because truth is all encompassing, it does not exclude anything, so that's the beauty, that no matter I am talking to a person who is so called a criminal, even in that criminal, the seed and the light of understanding is right there, if only I have time to nurture it. And if we look at ourselves, I personally feel that all the things that could be in a criminal I have seen in myself, and that's why I feel it is very humbling and grounding in nature that there is no other person called terrorist and criminal. It's all within us, and even the light of understanding is also within us. So what am I nurturing? What am I capable of nurturing? And that is our journey from darkness to light, is the human adventure. So we don't have to be ashamed or be guilty of the darkness, because this is our adventure, that we don't know the way and then we try to find our way. Just like if we enter into a forest, we don't have a map, not have any good map, the things are broken here and there, and then we begin the adventure trying to find our way. So I don't have to feel ashamed that, oh my God, I don't know the way. Yeah.
Yeah, Monica.
Yes.
Yeah, if I may. Okay, so I remembered I don't know क्या बोलेंगे उसको, what you just said उस पे मेरे को कुछ याद आया जो मैंने पढ़ा था. So it's again in Hindi, and it was basically on desires, and it said that चट्टानों से जब टकराता है समुंदर का शबाब, तो दूर तक लहरों के रोने की सदा आती है. So basically, when the desires are broken, when they are crashed, like on the hard rocks, then you can hear the cry of the waves till really far. बट दर हकीकत वो हर एक टूटी हुई बिखरी हुई मौज एक नई मौज के पलटने में बदल जाती है. So basically we think, like lot of people get stuck that I didn't get this, I didn't got this kinds. But if we look at what is really happening, the way desire is working, so if a desire is not fulfilled, we make a big hue and cry about it, but actually maybe we just go and jump to the next desire, because that's a basic vritti, a natural tendency, until we decide to, like you very beautifully shared, do something about it and see that it's not getting me something. Thank you.
Beautiful. Who is the author, Taru?
Not a known author, it's my dad's friend. Yeah.
Acha, acha. Okay. Beautiful. I think that would be the, again, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि that all these years are there for a reason, the years of experience and the years of slaps and blows. So that slowly I realize that whatever I'm seeking, it's actually just I'm ending hurting myself. I'm ending up hurting myself. Because whenever I'm desiring either from a person or from a life situation, and both of them are not never in my hands. Even I myself am not in my hands, so how can another person or a life situation can be in my hand? So slowly I would say that almost an understanding comes into the being, that I'm wanting to have rest, but it is not providing me rest. It is just making me more and more restless and inflicting more hurt on myself. So yeah, that I feel that that's why Kabir says, "Daudat daudat daudiya, jahan lagi man ki daud." I ran wherever I wanted to run, and once I was really tired of running, and then I realized that whatever I was looking for, it was right here with me all the time. But that daud is also very necessary. The running is also necessary. Yes, Chitra ji.
Yeah, people used to say good desire and bad desire, no? But everything is desire, because in my family, one my father's brother, he's 101 years old. He's a very good person. I mean, he's a well-wisher for the whole family, it seems. Now he is not in deathbed, but he is, I mean, somewhat sick now only, actually. 101 years, actually. But he is asking about everyone's family matters. I mean, all throughout everyone. He is asking about everything. So I don't know. His daughter is also encouraging that. She is asking the details of our family and everyone's family now. Actually, so I thought, why this? I mean, I could understand. This is a good desire. It seems we have to fulfill fulfill that desire. I don't know. Yeah, that picture came to me now when you were speaking.
Yeah. God knows, what purpose it may serve in his life.
Yeah, I don't
As
know
your Bindu
actually.
says that
Yeah,
every curve, every line,
he's
there
recollecting everything.
interesting.
About the whole family is trying to recollect. I feel pity. Actually, why to do all these things? Actually, yeah.
Uh, yes, Nikhilji, you can send me your phone number later, or maybe on the Skype window you can type the phone number. I will add on the WhatsApp group, the Friday Circle group. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Monica, you mentioned that you'll read Savitri. Is there some other day when you read Savitri?
Yes, Jyotsna ji. So we do it every Thursday at 3 o'clock. Would you like to join?
Yes, please.
ठीक है, I'll add you on the
Do you tell what you are going to read before?
हाँ. So I can share the last previous recording with you so that you know on which page number we are, and
Yes.
usually we just go page by page. Yeah, lines by.
Okay. Okay. I would love to be in it
ठीक है.
and study with you all. Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Monica.
There is one more book which I have found which struck me a lot.
हाँ.
After Sunlit Path, I read a book by K. Srinivasa Iyengar,
हाँ.
The Mother.
Yeah.
It you read it once, then you want to read it again, and it's so huge and intimidating. Then you read it again, and you want to read it again, and it is so simply said, so simple, the language and the way he describes. I haven't read the parallel one of Sri Aurobindo, which he has written. I haven't finished it,
Okay.
and it's left back in India. But I feel this is one book which we must read. There are many facets which are not mentioned in other books.
Okay. Beautiful.
It's
So
a
I'll share
Yeah, I have
beautifully
that book.
written book.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have that book. Yeah.
You have the book. Okay.
His daughter only, Prema Nandakumar. She has done the PhD in Savitri actually.
Savitri.
Yes. She is the one, Prema.
Yeah, she's done. Yeah.
But Monica, it is a very beautiful book.
Okay, I'll share with everybody on the group, maybe Friday study
Yes.
group and also on the mother group. Yeah, good to know. Yeah.
I don't know if it will be available online.
मुझे लगता है इसका PDF भी available है शायद. I will find it out and share with everyone.
हाँ जी.
Thank you so much for
क्योंकि इसका बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत ही अच्छा है.
Yeah. Taru, you were sharing something?
I actually had remembered something on desires that I had heard one time during a Upanishad session. We had, I think, discussed it briefly. It was quite beautiful, so I'll share it here. So it basically said that, say there's somebody at the door, like somebody rings your doorbell and he asks for things, right? He says, okay, give me a screwdriver, you give it. And then he says, okay, give me a Mercedes, you give it. Then you say, give me a pencil, a bread, a sharpener, a paint, lady finger kind. Like he keeps on asking random things and you keep on giving them. But there has to be a time when you'll stop and you'll ask him that what are you wanting actually, right? Like what are you doing with what have you been doing with the random stuff that you've been asking, or not random but in general, and what is it that you really want, because I keep giving and you keep asking. So in that they said that one day we reach that point for ourselves when we realize that whatever the desire is arising, I like it arises, I run to fulfill it. It arises, I walk to fulfill it. But there has to be a day when you'll stand and ask the desire that what do you, or yourself, what is it that you really want, and that is the day when you kind of stop with this cycle of running behind things.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And one may also wonder, that how would be a life without desires? Because in desires there is an excitement that we feel that, okay, yes, let's do that, or there is an excitement in that desire that, yes, I'm going to get that. So we don't know a life without excitement. That is, and the kind of celebrations we have, human celebrations, we don't know a life if there is a possibility of life without excitement. And I would just like to maybe share a few lines before we stop here today's session. That, what happens is that living a life without too much of desires, what happens is that there is so much of joy and contentment in the being that you feel, that it spills out to give itself to the world. So you will still have relationships, you will still have all the connections that you may want to have. They may change in their quality. And now it will be more a self giving, that I am so much oozing out. The being is full of joy in as many moments as possible, that I want to share my being with the world now. And in that, there is no expectation that I have, because it is a joy that is spilling itself out. So, yes, there is a possibility of a life without desire. And I think this is also a movement of our life, collective human life, towards a life divine, as Sri Aurobindo has said. That the ananda or bliss that we are made of now oozes in the mind, in the feelings, in thought, in emotions, in the body. And now it begins to manifest itself out, owing to the fact that the veil of the ignorance are getting lesser, thinner. They may not go completely in this lifetime, but still, we feel that joy of shedding off the ignorance in few moments of our life. So there is a possibility of this kind of a life. And I think there also we see that there is more beauty in relationships, because the relationships are not marred with the expectations and demands. They are not poisoned with the expectations and wanting of approval from people. So, yeah, and again, Satyam Shivam Sundaram jaise kehte hain, the more we live in truth, the more beautiful the life has the possibility to become. Yeah.
What do you do when everybody around you doesn't think the same?
You just be a
The
flower.
very, very close people around you who do not think the same. They think exactly the opposite.
Yeah, I think this is the experience of each one of us here. I can guarantee that, this is the experience of
And
each one.
it's then that I feel that mother is testing us, how tenacious we are to hold on.
Yeah,
And ki, nahi, doesn't matter. I'll quietly follow my method. You
exactly,
follow yours.
exactly, exactly.
You know, I mean, that's the only solution I have found. I don't know what all of you, how y'all cope, but I find it that you live your life, I live mine. I mean, not life as such, you share everything, but internally, that particular silence which you achieve, you
Mm-hmm.
remain tranquil despite all the chaos around.
Mm. Jyotsna ji, mother says that all the difficulties are within us. So I would say that those people around us who may seem difficult, they're also, as you said, it's either like a test, or it is a reflection of some difficulty that I have within myself. We are not maybe aware of that difficulty
Yes.
right now, है ना? So मुझे लगता है there is no other. It's just all a reflection of our own weaknesses in other persons, that we are not ready to see. We are not ready to see that. Yes,
Yeah,
Tarun.
if we
Share.
taught to realize that no, the circumstances you can see little changes.
Little
Little.
changes are
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like I keep hankering on honesty and truth,
Yeah.
to quite an extent. It's a very long time being associated with Ma.
Yeah.
And what they rant at me, ye aa gaya hamara Harishchandra.
Mhm.
Like, okay, here, now she's going to spill the beans and tell the truth. But
Yeah.
then I always tell them truth has legs. You got to experience it. But slowly with time, like Chitradi said, people do change if you stick to your guns. I mean,
Mhm.
you stick to mother's guns, and
Mhm.
she sort of tells you the way you are supposed to behave
Mhm. Yeah.
in a very cajoling manner, and yet you stick by it. I guess. What do you say, Chitradi?
Mm.
Sure, yeah, yeah. You can witness the changes, really. It is true.
You
With
know,
a lot of difficulty, they confess that maybe you're right. Maybe this is the way. Very difficult.
mm. मुझे somehow ज्योत्सना जी मुझे यहाँ पे ऐसा भी लगता है I may be wrong and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel that बहुत बार unknowingly spiritual or ego also creeps in on this path. है ना? So we have to be really aware क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि I am, getting the joy and I am being on this path. And this other person needs to change because he is not on the path. That is what we feel. But maybe there is some other path for him. Maybe he has some other dimensions to travel. So मुझे लगता है कि I think it's very grounding in nature personally that all the focus has to again and again come back to me being a flower and not at all
Printing
reflect
and yeah,
on what people are doing around me.
yeah, correct.
That's very true.
Yeah. और उससे एनर्जी
It's
भी
we
ड्रेन
who
होती
have
है.
to retain our humility.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Very, very true. And very well said. जो खुद में देखो, माँ हमेशा कहती है कि खुद में झांक के देखो.
Mm, mm, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I just have a small point to add. Like, absolutely agree with everything that was discussed on this point. But I just have one more experience that I've seen that whenever there is basically, kind of this, when I find myself in this situation, I see that my resolve gets strengthened when
Mm,
I see that there's somebody who's saying, no, this is not right. And I
mm,
know it is. So,
mm.
instead of getting weaker, it strengthens,
Yeah,
kinds. And,
yeah.
it's like it takes oppression for a Bhagat Singh to kind of rebel. So I guess rebel against oppression and rebel against something in myself that wants to be oppressed, right? Who
Mm,
wants to just go through the slippery slope and do the regular routine. So
mm,
उससे I feel that there's kind of a wakefulness, right? When somebody is saying, no, you can't do that, or that's stupid. That makes me say that no, it is not. Otherwise I might have been a bit more lax, but that rejection or that these comments, they make me stand and say, enough. So
mm.
that also I feel
Yeah,
is an anger. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Mm. Yeah, very true. It's very easy to walk on a path where everybody is approving of you. But here, there is a path that you want to traverse upon where people are not really very approving. So, would you still, as Taru said, that it makes you more
Yeah, there is no need to get approval also.
Yeah,
Yeah, at one time you will feel that. No need to get approval.
yeah.
Yeah. But circumstances will definitely give way. I don't know
Mm,
how it happens, but
yeah,
it give way.
give-
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah, beautiful.
In my personal life, initially, there was a lot of resistance from my own parents because my sister is on the path. So they did not want that the child, I mean, the elder daughter also goes the same way.
Mm,
And they tried everything in the book to prevent me from going that way. And you know how God did it? We have been abroad for 31 years. And so telecommunication initially was not so much. And these subjects are never discussed, they are never discussed so much on a phone call when you find out about somebody. So
Right.
automatically mother created the platform for me, that you grow in your path. And now the resolve is so strong that now if when I return to India, anyway, I'm confident nothing can shake me down. But at that time when I was jittery, so I guess mother, the divine works in his own ways
Yeah.
to create the environment for you to sort of flower and grow, as you say, Monica. Same way. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice to hear all the experiences. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, it's like they say, right? You do once you are on the path, then you do find your tribe.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, we
Like all
will.
of us meeting is no coincidence. We are random people from random parts of the world. Like Monica, in the beginning, in the first lecture, I remember she said, we were destined to meet and be together. So you come together for a reason. Like mother mentioned somewhere, isn't it, Monica, that people in the ashram have all come under this umbrella for a reason.
yeah,
And
very interesting. Yeah.
they should be aware of the reason for which they are there, and not lose direction of why they came here in the first place.
Yeah, that's
She
very important.
mentions it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is there in Mother's one of the book she told about. She talked about that actually when people used to complain about others, used to yeah, about food and about place. She told very strictly on one of the thing. I have that book actually, small book. She said, for you, everything is provided, not the basic needs of food, and no need to cook, no need to go and search for a place to, I mean, lie down, and everything is provided. But even after that, if you are complaining, it's of no use. She said in a very, I mean, sorrowful tone, it seems actually.
Yeah.
You should realize and you should utilize that opportunity. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. But as you said, human nature is like that. Again, she will tolerate everything and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
Monica.
So thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
everyone for joining. Yeah. Bye
yeah.
bye.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks
Thank you,
everyone.
Chitradi.
Thank
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.